We cannot allow federal agency, one that was created for the purpose to terrorize, to function as an occupying force in our community. Real accountability starts with abolishing ICE, impeaching Kristi Noem, and rethinking how we enforce immigration policy in this country.
Can I respond to that? Can I respond to that?
No.
Of course not. Look, you want to know why there's 50,000 people in detention? You want to know why we have 1 million illegal entries in the United States? You want to know why we have these issues? Because you have failed to secure the border. You have failed to work with this president to close the 3 loopholes we've asked for 2 years to close. So if you want to know why this issue exists, you need to look in the mirror. You have failed American people for not securing the border and closing the loopholes.
Today we are looking at one of the most infuriating yet satisfying clips from the House Judiciary Committee. We have got Ilhan Omar and Pramila Jayapal, 2 people who seem to have a fundamental misunderstanding of what a border actually is, trying to lecture a guy who has spent 30 years in the trenches. My take: this is a total circus. You have got Omar sitting there with her prepared script trying to play the humanity card while completely ignoring the law, and then you have got Tom Homan. This guy is a literal brick wall. He is not there for photo ops or grandstanding. He is there because he actually cares about the sovereignty of this country. Watch how Omar tries to trap him with emotional gotcha questions, and watch how Homan completely dismantles it. We are diving into the full video, and then I will tell you exactly why Homan is the kind of figure people are rallying behind right now.
We cannot allow federal agency, one that was created for the purpose to terrorize, to function as an occupying force in our community. Real accountability starts with abolishing ICE, impeaching Kristi Noem, and rethinking how we enforce immigration policy in this country. And we cannot stop there. We must demand that those who are responsible for terrorizing our community are investigated thoroughly, not by the agencies that oversee them, by truly independent authorities. We have seen federal agencies block state investigation, stonewall accountability. This is unacceptable. Our system of justice cannot tolerate a situation where people are killed and only response is silence, spin, or justification from the administration's officials. Minnesota was once known as a place of refuge. Now it has been turned into a war zone by a federal government that has lost sight of the values that make America great. Everything we love, our communities, our rights, our Constitution, our humanity is on the line right now. We have to fight like our future depends on it, because it does.
Is there anything you'd like to respond to what you've heard today?
Yeah, I'd like to respond to Acting Chairman Jayapal and your comment about the Trump administration moving money around for more detention beds. I'd like to remind you, under the Obama administration, we did that most of the years he was president. We moved money around DHS. It's called reprogramming. We did that under the Obama administration. I don't remember any hearings on that. And also, I'd like to remind you that under the Obama administration, I mean, you're quick to point out that the cages were built under the Obama administration. I was there. Family detention, we had 100 family beds under the Obama administration. We built 3,000 more. So when there was a surge in FY14 and FY15 on the border, Congress was quick to give all the money we needed to build detention facilities, get transportation contracts. We reprogrammed money out of the majority of the years he was president. That was fine. Under the Obama administration, FY12, we removed 409,000 people, half of what was removed last year. There was no hearings on that. So this is about transparency. Let's be factual about it.
The time of the gentleman has expired. Since you did address some comments at me, I'll just say that I didn't like it under the Obama administration either. In fact,
well, be honest with the American people. You can't point out faults in the Trump administration when it happened under the Obama administration. That's dishonesty. It's pathetic and it's sad.
Mr. Homan, I control the time, and I am the chairwoman of the committee. Thank you for respecting that. I didn't like it under the Obama administration, and I'll remind you, Mr. Homan, that you also testified before Congress in support of the Obama's Priorities Enforcement Program before the Senate Judiciary Committee on May 19th, 2016, which had a very different approach.
Well, can I respond to that? Can I respond to that?
No.
Of course not.
I want to give you some time, but I do want to ask one quick question, and I want to make one quick statement. I find it very offensive that anybody would compare any federal employee, frankly, to someone who, the Gestapo or running Nazi concentration camps. That is very offensive. I have 15 seconds and I yield it to you.
Thank you for saying that. I wish somebody in Democratic leadership would say that out loud. Look, You want to know why there's 50,000 people in detention? You want to know why we have 1 million illegal entries in the United States? You want to know why we have these issues? Because you have failed to secure the border. You have failed to work with this president to close the 3 loopholes we've asked for 2 years to close. So if you want to know why this issue exists, you need to look in the mirror. You have failed American people for not securing the border and closing loopholes.
Mr. Homan,
Look,
please respect the chair and the authority of the chair. The time of the gentleman has expired.
I've asked you politely to let me go beyond my time, and you let other people go beyond their time, but not to Tom Homan. He don't get me go beyond his time.
Mr. Homan, we have approved an agreement between the Republicans and the Democrats with the ranking member. We increased the time of one member of Congress who was interrupted by a protest. That is done with the approval of the ranking member. Please respect the chair's authority.
I respect the chair's authority, but the chair...
Mr. Homan!
You work for me. I'm a taxpayer. You work for me.
Unbelievable. Did you see the look on Ilhan Omar's face? She is used to being in an echo chamber where everyone agrees with her open borders rhetoric, but when she goes up against someone like Tom Homan, she loses control because he speaks a language she avoids. Facts. Now let us break this down. Omar spends her entire time trying to frame border enforcement as a human rights violation, talking about dignity and humanity as if enforcing law is cruelty. That is a classic reframing tactic. The real danger is policies that encourage millions to take deadly journeys across deserts and into the hands of cartels, and Pramila Jayapal sits there presiding like a neutral figure, but the strategy is obvious. They want Homan silenced because he is effective. He understands the numbers, the systems, and the consequences. When Homan raises his voice and points his finger, that is not random anger, that is built up frustration from decades in law enforcement. Watching politicians attempt to weaken national security for attention. He said it clearly: if laws are the problem, then change them, but do not attack the people enforcing laws created by Congress. Omar keeps going back to her notes because stepping away means confronting reality. Homan does not need notes. He has lived it for 30 years. He has seen the border up close, not through staged visits or distant observation. The bottom line is simple: a country either respects its laws or it does not. Homan stands with enforcement. Omar stands with perception. Now the real question is this: was Homan too aggressive, or was he exactly what the moment demanded? Drop your thoughts, hit like, and keep the discussion alive. Stay aware, stay sharp. Peace.